First of all, it's really a pleasure to be here, and I'd like to thank James and the Irish Centre for Responsible Tourism for the opportunity to speak here today a little bit about the coastal programmes in An Taisce. I'm going to be speaking about our beach awards, the Blue Flag and the Green Coast Award, and I'm also then going to be, speaking, the bulk of my presentation will cover our coastal community engagement programme called Clean Coast. So I suppose I should introduce myself. I'm Annabel Fitzgerald, and I've been working as the Coastal Programmes Manager in An Taisce for about 7 or 8 years, and I know a lot of you here in the room today. Of course, the coast in Ireland is incredibly important to us as an island nation, and there are over 300 islands, large and small, surrounding the coast of Ireland. No part of the island of Ireland is much more than 100 kilometres from the coast, and about 60% of our population live within 10 kilometres of the coastline. Our Irish lighthouses, which were once manned by keepers, are now fully automated, but are a really important representation of our coastal heritage. And more than 460 marine fish have been recorded in Irish waters, and about 24 types of whales and dolphins have also been recorded around Ireland. So we really are a maritime people. We operate the Blue Flag, the Green Coast Award and the Clean Coast programme. And we've developed a whole suite of initiatives that have supported the growth in these programmes over the years. The imagery and the logos on the slide behind me represent many of our initiatives, and some of these I'll be speaking a little bit more about today. The Blue Flag programme is an international award. It's probably one of the world's most recognised eco-labels. It started in France in 1985, and it started in Ireland in 1988. In about 2001, it became an international award when South Africa took on the operation of the Blue Flag, and it's now operating in 49 countries worldwide. I suppose it brings international recognition to Ireland's beaches and marinas, but it also reassures not only the Irish population but also visitors that our beaches and marinas have met the highest environmental standards and that the coastal ecosystem is being protected. How a Blue Flag is awarded, I'm just going to speak very quickly through this slide, but local authorities are our partners in delivering the programme, and I think that they should be commended for the efforts that they go to ensure that all of the 33 criteria for Blue Flag are met. The criteria, first of all, the local authority have to apply, and it's a really lengthy process where they have to provide bathing water calendars, their bathing water profile, lifeguard times, their environmental education activities. A whole plethora of information is required at the application stage. The 33 criteria fit roughly into these 5 categories: water quality, information provision, environmental management, environmental education, and safety and services. And sometimes it's one criteria, the criteria of water quality, that takes over the whole Blue Flag. But I'd like to just say that that's only one of 33 criteria. We carry out in-season control visits or inspections on 100% of all of Ireland's awarded beaches during the season. And any non-compliances with the Blue Flag criteria, the local authority must respond within 5 working days, providing photographic evidence to us that the issues have been rectified. These are a snapshot in time, and we rely also heavily on the public and coastal communities becoming involved and engaged in the programme and sharing with us issues or incidences on both Blue Flag and Green Coast Award beaches. There are a lot of commitments made in the application, but we also have to record all complaints made by members of the public, and this all forms part of the adjudication process for the Blue Flag Award on an annual basis. In terms of water quality, these beaches must meet the excellent standard as per the Bathing Water Directive, And this directive is fully in play in Ireland this year through the EPA and the Department of the Environment. But for Blue Flag, we've been implementing it since 2012, so we've really been leading the way. There's a national jury that meets, and it has already met this year, and the international Blue Flag jury will be meeting to consider the recommendations of the Irish jury. The members of both juries are just listed up there on the slide behind me. But as you can see, on a national basis, it's Department of the Environment, Irish Water Safety, NPWS, the EPA, and microbial experts from UCD and Trinity College Dublin, Fáilte Ireland, the Irish Centre for Responsible Tourism, and ourselves. And then internationally, there's an equally impressive jury that makes these decisions. The Blue Flag Awards will take place this year at the end of May. So the Blue Flag in Ireland, we've seen a growth in the number of Blue Flag beaches over the years, and we've seen in recent years a very small growth in the number of marinas being awarded the Blue Flag. And I'd just like to highlight that this growth has been achieved even though there are higher water quality standards now for Blue Flag than there were 5 years ago. We carried out beach user surveys in 2010, and almost 90% of people who were surveyed on our beaches said that the reason they picked that beach to visit was because it had a Blue Flag. I'm showing you this slide because it tells us that we're doing really well. 55% of our bathing waters have been awarded a Blue Flag beach. We are equal with Portugal. But I think if we look at the data behind the figures, we can see a slightly different story. We have a very low number of bathing waters in Ireland compared to other European countries. We have about 1 per 25 kilometres, whereas other countries might have 1 bathing water per kilometre. And this is something that in Blue Flag Ireland we're keen to see increased. We would like to see a much greater number of identified bathing waters being sampled in accordance with the Bathing Water Directive. We saw earlier that there are 33 criteria relating to Blue Flag, and I thought it would be a good idea maybe to look at some of these in a little bit more detail. And one of them, I suppose, at the interface at the beach is how information is provided through Blue Flag. This shows a notice board from the olden days where all of the information was provided, but it wasn't necessarily in a very user-friendly format. So since then, we have developed a template for local authorities to use on Blue Flag beaches. And we also have a QR code on every Blue Flag beach in Ireland. If you scan the QR code, it brings you directly to the page for that beach on the Blue Flag Ireland website. So in essence, you have a virtual information board with you when you visit a Blue Flag site. And of course, this was done extremely economically and really free of charge. We also have our Blue Flag Twitter account where we show when we've carried out in-season control visits. We tweet about them, and we also share the images on Facebook, and we invite coastal communities and the public to help us and to join that conversation and to help us improve the standards on Blue Flag beaches. I'm a bit cognizant of my time here, so here again we're just talking about the lifeguarding requirements for Blue Flag beaches. All beaches must be lifeguarded during the bathing season. Blue Flag is now aiming to extend the programme to another branch in marine tourism, namely the recreational boating industry. And since 2013, we have been on a working group developing a set of criteria for ecotourism boats, which is intended to have the same significance as the criteria for beaches and marinas. This means that any ecotourism boat that applies for the award will be subject to the same control visits, procedures, etc. as the beaches. With this step, we're intending to create a strong eco-label for tourism boats with the aim of implementing environmentally friendly practices and put an effort on offering a responsible and sustainable tourism product. The Green Coast Award is awarded to beaches that might not have the infrastructure required for the blue flag. So if you can imagine, a lot of our coastline in Ireland, we don't want to destroy it by having car parks, toilet facilities, and all the infrastructure that's required for a more resort-style beach. But these are awarded to beaches that have public participation and also meet the excellent standard in water quality. I have a few minutes left to talk about the Clean Coast programme. This is a programme that engages coastal communities in the protection of our beaches, seas and marine life. I'd like to show you this slide. It's a Throwaway Living article from 1955, and it's really celebrating that we don't need to wash our dishes anymore, that everything can simply be thrown away. But of course, we all know that there's no such thing as a way, and unfortunately, a lot of marine litter, or a lot of litter ends up in the marine environment. We have developed this infographic to show all of the sources of marine litter. And the categories of marine litter that we find on our beaches in Ireland are from three sources: recreational type litter, fishing litter, and then sewage related litter, so the stuff that people are flushing down their toilets that should be disposed of in the domestic waste. Of course, the impacts of marine litter are wide and varied: invasive species, wildlife injured and entanglement and death, the aesthetic impact of marine litter. In Ireland, we have 432 Clean Coast groups at present who have adopted stretches of coastline that they love or that their business is operating on. This is one of our groups. Last year, we had 800 clean-up events that took place all around the coastline. 14,000 volunteers took part in the Clean Coast programme, and about 500,000 litter items were removed from the coast in just 1 year. In terms of the economic value of the programme, if we just pay the minimum wage to the number of volunteer hours, we would be looking at about a bill of €519,000. We hold an event called Clean Coast Week every year, which engages businesses, communities, hotels to get involved in our programme. There were 152 events in 1 week last year, but they were not all just about cleaning our beaches. We had celebratory events like a virtual tour of the Irish lighthouses. We screened Jeremy Irons' documentary, Trashed, and we launched our photography competition. We hold an event every year called the Big Beach Clean. Over 3 days, 103 cleanups happened. 128 kilometres of coast was cleaned, that's about 3 M50s, and over 33,000 litter items were removed from the coast. 3,000 is the number of entries into our Love Your Coast photography competition. There are images on display in the foyer and some postcards on your tables. And this serves as a reminder of what it is we're trying to protect in the Clean Coast programme. To celebrate the Love Your Coast competition this year, celebrating 5 years of it, we projected the images onto the Boland's Mills in the Waterways Ireland Visitor Centre to ensure that everybody could learn about what it is we do. We have an initiative called the 2-Minute Beach Clean. It came from a gentleman called Martin Dorey in the UK, and we asked him if we could use this idea and run it as part of our Clean Coast programme because we were looking for individual action. He agreed, and we're really excited to say that this year we are going to be rolling out 2-minute beach clean stations to a number of blue flag beaches around Ireland. This means, or what we're asking people to do, is spend 2 minutes picking up litter. Take a photograph of it, tag it with the hashtag 2-minute beach clean and share it on social media. It's about raising awareness, it's about individual action, and every piece of litter is a challenge for change. We also developed the 2-minute street clean to reflect that about 80% of marine litter actually comes from land-based activities, so we all have a part to play. We also run the Beat the Microbead campaign, and this is aimed at raising awareness about plastic pollution in our personal care products that are just washing down the drain and out to sea. We're asking people to use alternatives, and we're asking them to help us build the Irish database for this. So there is an app you can download, scan the product, and it'll tell you if there are microbeads present or not. If you find something that isn't on the database, email it to us and we'll make sure it's added to the app. Shane Byrne, our ex-international rugby player, has even got behind this campaign. Margaret Brown, and this is my second last slide. Margaret Brown, or Mrs. Brown, is what Clean Coast is all about. It's about local coastal communities. It's about people being part of their community. It's about people loving where they live. Margaret Brown won the long-term dedication to the Clean Coast programme Ocean Hero Awards in 2014. She's been involved in our programme for over 11 years. And she really is an inspiration to others and also a real ambassador for what it is that we in Clean Coast do. To end, we can go back to the Throwaway Living article, and we can see that even then people had to clean up after the photo shoot. So thank you very much for your time, and sorry that I had to rush through that quite quickly, but if anybody has any questions or comments, please do get in touch with me. Thank you.